All right, so through 1 week of the regular season, on which teams are we buying the hype? That's our draft for today. Miles, who you got?
I got the Dolphins. I'm buying the hype with the Dolphins. I think them being in their second year with Mike McDaniel, they did have some issues, with turnovers in that game against the Chargers. They could have beaten them by at least a touchdown, if not a little bit more. But I think that they're going to continue to improve offensively as long as Tua Tagovailoa stays healthy. And then also defensively, that unit coached up by Vic Fangio is going to improve. They're going to miss Jalen Ramsey for sure, but I think that unit, as they continue to grow, as Vic Fangio continues to understand what it is that they do well, they close out that game against the Chargers in a great way. I think they're going to continue to get better.
Without question, I am buying the hype on the 49ers. And I know that that's not really going out far on a limb, but when I put them ahead of the Eagles in the first power rankings, Eagles fans were like, hey, we won the NFC Championship, not them. But I've believed all along, you stabilize the quarterback position, the 49ers are the class of that conference. The 49ers, and this is something I said earlier this week to Chris Sims, Miles. The 49ers have been close for like each of the past 5 years, except for 2020 when it went off the rails early. They aren't going to knock on the door this year. They're not going to leave any doubt. They're going to kick it in. They're not going to have close, fluky games. They're going to be boring 49ers games because they're going to do what they did to the Steelers on a regular basis this year, especially when the playoffs roll around.
Yeah, I think they could be one of those teams that ends up with 14, 15 wins this year because they just seem, like you said, they just seem ready. My next pick, I'm going to go with the Jaguars because you know what? There's an element of the unknown whenever you're facing a rookie quarterback, especially when that rookie quarterback has a new head coach and a new play caller. And yeah, Shane Steichen has called plays before around the league, but you don't quite know exactly what you're going to get, especially when it's a guy who's as talented and as dynamic as Anthony Richardson can be, as we think. But, they go into that game. They were kind of messing around. I mean, they're on the road, so you had to kind of sort things out, but they separated themselves in the fourth quarter, and that's what really good teams do. So we'll really see if the hype is real with the Jaguars this week coming up. They're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be a 1:00 game Eastern in Jacksonville, so we anticipate that it's going to be hot. The conditions aren't going to be great, especially for the Chiefs coming in there. If they win this game, they go to 2-0. I think the hype train's really going to start rolling for the Jags.
Lions for me, and I had doubts, I had reservations. I have a long history of seeing the Lions not be very good. I wanted them to prove it to me, and they did, specifically with the way their fans showed up to support them in a tough road environment. Wait till the Seahawks get a load of what's going to happen this weekend when they come to Ford Field and those Lions fans are there. All right, one more round. Which teams are we buying the hype for? Hate to end with a preposition, but sometimes it happens. Miles, we end with your pick. What do you got?
I got the Browns defense. I don't necessarily know about that offense and Deshaun Watson yet, but man, the way that Jim Schwartz used the personnel up front, moving Myles Garrett around so that he gets the one-on-one matchups and then can just go in there and absolutely dominate. That's the kind of thing I want to continue to see, and I hope we see it against Kenny Pickett and the Steelers on Monday night.
I'm tempted to say the Cowboys, but they still have to prove to me that they can do what they did on a regular basis. And there isn't much hype for the Packers, but I was saying the Packers will be good. I picked them to win the division. I'm by my own hype. The Packers. The Packers. Now, maybe the Lions will win the division instead, but that Thursday night game coming up in a couple of weeks, Packers-Lions, that could be very interesting. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.